everybody, my name is Natalia Leigh and I'm the author of the young adult novels Highborn and Way of Spears and, soon enough, Song of the Dryad. And I had a request on a previous video, I've actually had a few requests now, to do a video just giving you guys some tips for starting and maintaining an Authortube channel. So today I'm going to share 13 tips with you about how to start the channel, how to edit your videos, and how to interact with your community. So let's get started. So I have 4 categories that I'm kind of going to break down these tips into. The first one is setup, the second is filming, third is editing, and fourth is your community. So let's start with my tips on setup. My first tip is to use a decent camera. Now, I am not telling you to go out and buy a really expensive camcorder. I didn't even do that. But even an iPhone camera could work really well if you get a nice little stand for it and set it up in a really good location. When I first started filming, I actually used a webcam, and if you look back at some of my previous videos, it did the job, but it definitely was not high quality. It didn't pick up light very well, it didn't pick up sound very well, and I would always put it on like a little desk in front of me, and every time I would move, the desk would wobble, so the picture is consistently wobbling. So when I got my camcorder back in January, I want to say, because I got it for my birthday, my quality definitely shot up in my videos because suddenly I could film in HD and in 1080p, and suddenly my videos were crisp and clear. They sounded a lot better. There are so many more functions I can use on this camcorder. So if you don't want to go out and buy a camera, I would definitely recommend using your iPhone camera, or Android even has some great cameras as well. So try to utilize something that you already have if possible so that you don't have to spend a lot of money. So my camera wasn't too expensive. I want to say it was like $200 when it was on sale. And I use a Canon Vixia HFR 700 and it works really well. The only thing that I don't like too much about this camera is that when I'm sitting here in front of you, I would really like all this background stuff to be kind of blurred out. And the camera can do that, but there has to be a huge distance between the subjects in order to get that to happen. So there are some really nice cameras that could blur this out, even though it's only a few feet behind me. But this camera is not strong enough to do that, so I cannot blur my background, unfortunately. But really the purpose of this tip is that you want to communicate to your viewers that you are serious about putting out good, decent content. And if you're not even willing to set up your phone in a good location or buy yourself a cheap camera, that communicates to your viewers that you might not be as serious about the content as they wish that you were. All right, my second tip is lighting. And I would say that lighting is one of the very most important aspects of filming a video. I'm sure you have all seen those videos that are really grainy in quality. They're dark, you can't really see the person that's talking, or maybe they're filming kind of sideways, so they have a light source on one side of their face, but the other side of their face is completely in darkness, or they're using just overhead lights, which casts everything like under your eyes, under your nose, and your lips. Down here on your chin, it casts everything else into shadows, and that doesn't look very pleasing for the eye. But the positive thing is that as long as you're using a window, lighting is free. So I use natural lighting, and I also have a small ring light. Well, it's not a ring light because I think the ring lights were a bit too expensive for me to buy right off the bat, but I am going to show you what my setup looks like because I actually put this light together. So first off, this is me sitting, I don't know, maybe about 8 feet from 2 small windows, so there's not a ton of light coming in. So I'm sitting 8 feet from those, and then I have this little light in front of me. So what I'm going to do is turn the light off so you can see how that affects the lighting on my face, and then I'm going to show you what this actual setup looks like. So this is me with natural lighting and my additional lights around my camera. And this is what it looks like when I turn off the lights. So looking in my viewfinder here, I think it still looks pretty good. You can still see all the dimensions to my hair and my face. You can see everything behind me because I'm using this natural lighting. And this isn't a huge window. These are 2 relatively small windows. Let me turn it on one more time. See the difference there? So really what it's doing is it's really brightening up this side of my face where there would have been all these shadows before. So it really brightens it up. It really kind of creates a contrast between your subject matter, which is me, and the background, because I am the one catching all of the light here. Do it one more time. Light on and light off. And this is what my lighting looks like. I had some of these little string LED lights. Actually, they were my boyfriend's and he wasn't using them, so he gave them to me. So see these little LED lights? And they have these cords, these wires attached to them, and there are 4 of them. So what I did is I just cut out a little bit of cardboard and I taped them to this light. This is gonna be kind of bright. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when they're on. So I just hang this around my camera and then, ta-da, I have a nice little, it's not a ring light, it's like a square light. So absolutely do not feel obligated to go out and buy umbrella lights or ring lights or those softbox lights, because those can be expensive. They can definitely start racking up all this money. But when it comes to lighting, natural lighting is your best friend, so make sure you are using it to the best of your abilities. If you don't have nice lighting, I would not recommend filming at night. I would not recommend filming in a dark location. So open up all those windows, get your camera or your phone set up, and you will already be miles ahead of people that are not utilizing these techniques. So my third tip, and this is going to be the final tip for kind of setup, actually has to do with your YouTube channel. So I would highly recommend to get a good quality, high quality image for your profile picture. When I am looking at profile pictures, I want to be able to clearly see the person whose channel it is, because it just looks more professional that way, and I really like that clean, professional look. So definitely upload a high quality, good profile image of yourself. Also, on your YouTube channel, you have that header image that kind of goes behind your profile photo and above all of your videos, and I would definitely recommend either making a graphic for that or maybe commissioning somebody to make one for you. You can have those done for pretty darn cheap. Mine right now is really simple. It's just a white background because YouTube's background is white, so I like that, the way that it kind of blends together. So it's just white. It says Natalia Leigh, author of Highborn and Way of Spears, and it has a cute little flourish design on it. It's simple, it lets you know who I am, what books I've written, and it communicates exactly what I want it to. So I would definitely not recommend uploading some stock photo or some random image that has nothing to do with the channel, because when you are creating this channel, you are creating a brand and you want to communicate a specific thing to your viewers. So if you, let's say for example, you were going to start a channel about minimalism, you would not want a really cluttered header image and profile image, because that would completely give off the wrong vibes if somebody was looking for a minimalistic type YouTube channel. Now, if you are doing an Authortube channel, which is what this is specifically about, I would recommend a nice high quality profile photo. You could get a professional photo taken or just have a friend snap a nice one of you, all, dressed nice, hair done if you do your hair, out in natural lighting so it looks really nice. And then on your header image, maybe say, your name and then books you've written, poetry you've written, any blogs you have, stuff like that. So just let people know who you are and what you're working on. So when they come to your channel, they know exactly what they're going to get there. So those were my 3 setup tips, and now I'm going to move into my filming tips. My first tip is to film a video today. Getting comfortable in front of the camera takes a while. If you look back on some of my older videos, especially my first ones, you can see the huge shift between how I spoke to you back then and how I speak to you now. You can tell that I am now much more comfortable in front of the camera. I move around a lot more. I feel like I just am more kind of expressive to you because I feel comfortable in this space now. There used to be a time where I would not even film if anybody was home in the house because I was embarrassed about it. But now, my family and my boyfriend and my friends, they know what I'm doing. I am proud of what I'm doing. I've worked really hard at this, and it's something that I'm not embarrassed about anymore. But it takes a while to get to that point. So I would recommend filming a video today. You don't have to post it anywhere. You don't have to show it to anybody. but it's gonna feel super awkward talking to yourself in front of a camera when you first start doing it. So it's better to start getting used to it now rather than starting fresh on your first video and then putting something up that's pretty awkward and it might be cringe-worthy when you look back on it in a few years. And then the other thing that kind of goes along with this is you can either script your videos or you can just talk freely to the camera. And I do believe there are pros and cons with each of these. So as far as scripting goes, I don't really script my videos. I have never been somebody to write out what I was going to say and then memorize it or read it bit by bit to you. That to me comes across as sounding very robotic and it doesn't sound natural when I do it. Other people are really good at it, but I just don't like the way that it sounds for me. So the pro would be that you are always staying on task and you're getting your point across much quicker and probably more efficiently than when you just chat to the camera. The con is that it can sound kind of robotic and fake sometimes. Now, what I do is I just sit down and I talk to the camera. Now, when I'm doing a video like this, like a tips video, I have my notebook in front of me here, and I will write down all the tips so that I know what I want to say to you, but after I read that tip and kind of get reminded about what I'm talking about, the subject that I'm talking about, then I just talk to you freely. And you can probably, hopefully tell that I do that just because there are kind of natural fluctuations in my voice as I'm speaking to you. Sometimes I have to pause and think about what I'm going to say next. The pros to kind of just naturally speaking to the camera are that you sound very natural and you come across as very genuine to your viewers. The cons are that sometimes you get distracted or you forget what you were going to say and then you don't end up hitting a point that was really important to you. Or your video just gets super, super long because sometimes I sit down in front of a camera and I talk for 45 minutes and a lot of it has to get cut out. If I scripted my videos, that wouldn't be a problem. So you need to decide for yourself which you are more comfortable with, scripting or just chatting to the camera. And then, maybe even try both of them. I haven't really scripted videos. I've tried in the past. I didn't like it. So I tried both of the options and I know which one I really prefer. So I would recommend that you try both of them so that you can figure out what you are most comfortable with. All right, this next tip, I think this is tip number 5, I want to say, is to decide on the subject matter that you are going to film. And don't stress yourself out about this, right from the get-go. It's not like you can only film one type of video, I certainly don't do that. I have a lot of different videos that I film for you. So you can decide if you're going to be doing book reviews, which would kind of be more of a booktube channel. You could be doing vlogs like author day in the life vlogs. You could be doing writing tips videos, which is what I really enjoy doing for you. Maybe you could film like a writer's journey. And I started that series, but I haven't been keeping up with it a lot because I'm doing so many vlogs. So you kind of get to see the progression of my story and of my journey to publication and everything. So you could start, maybe film the day that you first get the idea for a new novel and then film all the way through to finishing that novel and deciding on your route for publication. I think that would be really interesting. You could do author interviews. There are just so many different subjects that you could choose to highlight on your channel. So I would recommend deciding on a few of those, just focus on a couple of them to get started so that you can get really good at those subjects, and then feel free to just branch out and go crazy once you have a better feel of your audience and what you're kind of promoting and doing on your channel. Tip number 6 is to film relevant videos. And by this, I mean film videos that have to do with something that's going on in the larger community. For example, what really kickstarted my channel was filming NaNoWriMo prep videos last October. When I started filming those and putting them out, I started getting a massive influx of subscribers and views every single day because so many people participate in NaNoWriMo and they were looking for that information at the exact same time that I was putting it out. So, film maybe a vlog when you go to BookCon or some other sort of Y'all West or something like that, so you can put up your vlogs at the same time that everybody else is putting up their vlogs about that subject matter, and then you can get everybody that's interested in that subject watching those videos at the same time. Maybe you attend a release party for a new book. I remember I attended the release party for Breaking Dawn years and years and years ago when it came out. It was a midnight release party, and that would have been awesome to film. I was very young back then and I had nothing to do with YouTube, but stuff like that will catch the attention of the larger community that is participating in that event. So it's a really good way to kickstart your channel. If you don't do this, you can certainly still get those views and get those subscribers through hard work and consistency, even by participating in something like readathons. I think 𝒩𝒶𝓉𝒶𝓁𝒾𝒶 just passed, and I didn't take part in it because I'm more focused on writing right now, but even filming, you know, vlogs, daily vlogs for something like 𝒩𝒶𝓉𝒶𝓁 would really help to kickstart your views and your subscribers. All right, tip number 7, this is the last filming kind of tip, and that is to just be genuine and be yourself and let your personality shine. I always really respect creators who get in front of the camera and they are themselves and they let me know exactly who they are, the things that they believe in. And I so much prefer that and really getting to know the person in front of the camera versus feeling like it is a facade or somebody has built up kind of this alter ego to show me through the camera, because that makes me feel like there's this wall up between us. Like I can't really understand this person because I don't know who they are. So as long as you are personable and you are yourself and you are genuine with your subscribers, you are definitely going to be able to achieve those bonds between, you know, you and your viewers and you and your subscribers. So that's going to be my last tip for filming your videos, is to be as much yourself as possible. All right, tip number 8. Gosh, I did it backwards again. Tip number 8 is going to be an editing tip. So I just have 2 editing tips. So as far as editing goes, I would recommend starting off with whatever editing program your computer came with. I used to use Windows Movie Maker and it worked pretty well for what I was doing. And then last October, I want to say, I started using iMovie and I'm really happy with iMovie. So you do not have to rush out and buy some big, fancy, expensive editing program, because you can definitely make things look really nice and crisp and smooth and clear with just the, you know, the program that came loaded onto your computer. So whatever you have, whatever editing software you're using, I would recommend just getting to know that really well. What I did when I was learning iMovie was I watched a bunch of like tutorials about iMovie so that I could learn all the like little aspects of it and all the little things I could do just to bump my videos up to the next level. All right, tip number 9 when it comes to editing. This has to do with your music, especially your background music. I think it can be done really well, and there are some YouTubers that like to play, you know, little songs in the background just to fill that empty space. I have tried that in a few of my past videos, but I don't do it very often. And if you decide to play background music, you know, while your video is running, I definitely highly recommend that you turn it down as much as possible, because I have come across those videos on YouTube before where the background music is turned up so high that it distracts me from what the subject is saying to me and what they're trying to communicate. And when I can't listen to them because their music is so distracting, I turn it off and I just go, you know, I find a different video that doesn't have that annoying background music. So this also has to do with, you know, if you have clips, let's say like in my vlogs, I'll do a clip of me driving or a clip of me making coffee and I'll have music over that segment. The other thing you need to do is play it through, listen to yourself when you're talking, and then listen to the transition into the music, because sometimes the music is way too loud and you're going to have to turn it down on the computer to continue listening to it. And that's never fun when somebody is watching your video at a comfortable audio level and then music hits and it's so loud that they have to rush to turn it down. So when you're done putting all of your music in at the end of your video, make sure to level out all of that audio so that once your viewer hits play, they don't have to hit the sound button again. They don't have to turn it up or down. It's just one nice, steady level of sound. All right, my last 4 tips are going to have to do with the community surrounding YouTube. So tip number 10, the first one in the community subject, would be to interact with your viewers across all platforms. Now this might take a while to build up to because maybe you only have a YouTube, or right now you only have a website, you know, so let's say you only have a website or you only have a Twitter. When you open that YouTube and you start slowly interacting with people, make sure that your website or your Twitter are linked into that YouTube channel so that you can also start tweeting people and you can start getting them to interact with all of the different aspects on your website. I recently opened an Instagram account, so I am now interacting with viewers on YouTube mainly, and then Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I have a Tumblr that I need to use more, I don't use very much, and my author website. And then I also have Goodreads, I have Pinterest. What else? I have a playlist on SoundCloud or Spotify. I don't remember which one. I want to say it's SoundCloud. But anyway, so that's like 8 or 9 platforms that I'm using to interact with you guys, because I want to be able to interact with you even if you don't have a Twitter. And then maybe I can chat with you on Facebook. Or if you don't have a Facebook, maybe we can share photos on Instagram. So by interacting across all these platforms, you're building a really strong author platform, because this is for Authortube, right? So you're building a strong foundation to stand upon and to get all of your information out to your viewers no matter where they are. So tip number 11 is to post on other YouTubers' videos regularly. If you get into the habit of just watching a video and enjoying it, maybe giving it a thumbs up, but you don't comment, then you're never going to start that relationship between yourself and the person whose video you're watching. So I definitely recommend commenting on other people's videos, but make it a genuine comment, you know, compliment them on something that they did or ask them a question about the subject matter. So I would much prefer somebody to comment on one of my videos and interact with me and interact with my content rather than spamming my channel and spamming my comments box with their links and all the things that they want me to watch. But if you were just to talk to me and start a relationship with me and a correspondence, then I would be more willing to view your videos, look at your website, and start commenting on your content. So by being respectful of other creators and by commenting regularly on the content that they're putting out, you're creating that correspondence and you're creating that relationship that can really benefit both of you in the future. So tip number 12 is to reach out to other creators for collaborations. I absolutely love watching collabs, especially if it's with 2 creators that I really enjoy watching. This is a great way to get to know each other, and I would definitely recommend, starting that correspondence with somebody and getting to know them and their personality before you ask for a collab, because you don't want to make them feel like you are just trying to mooch off of them or, gain subscribers from them. The way I look at collaborations is a manner to go about not only teaming up and working together and getting to know somebody that you respect and admire, but also as a way to double the fun for all of your viewers and subscribers that might watch and love both of you. Also, I have some exciting news. If you didn't check on my Twitter and you haven't already heard, the amazing, lovely author Kristen Martin and I are going to be doing a collab this month. So continue watching our channels to see when that will be coming your way, because I'm really super excited about it. All right, now my final tip number 13, is to upload regularly. Now, when you're getting started, this might just be once every 2 weeks. I personally think that uploading once a week is a really good way to get started because it gives you some wiggle room. So you could upload on a Saturday if you want, or you could upload on a Wednesday if you want. But by putting a video out every single week, you are showing potential subscribers that you are consistent and always uploading content. Because sometimes I find channels and I'm really into all the videos they're creating, but then I go to their uploads and I see, oh, they haven't even uploaded a video in a month or in 7 weeks. And when I see that, I don't subscribe, because all of the subscriptions that I have are to channels that are regularly putting out content, because that's what I'm here for. I want to see new, fresh content that I can view every morning when I sit down at my computer. So as long as you're being consistent about it, setting any kind of schedule for yourself that might work for you and your work schedule or your school schedule, then you will be communicating to your viewers that you are consistent and they can always expect new content from you. All right, friends, those were my 13 tips for starting and maintaining an Authortube channel. I do realize that this wasn't specifically geared at Authortube, but that's because Authortube is the same as all of YouTube. You know, whether you're filming a book review, whether you're doing a vlog, whether you are showing people your writing process or giving them writing tips, all of these videos are part of the larger community and the YouTube community. So by learning how to set up a really good video, how to use your equipment to the best of your ability, how to edit, how to reach out to others, it doesn't matter if you're a booktuber, an authortuber, a beauty YouTuber, a gamer, whatever it is, these tips should be able to help you in starting and maintaining your channel. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any further questions, or maybe share some of your tips from starting your YouTube channel, or a way that you found that really boosts interaction on your videos. Anything like that will be really helpful to all of us. So please feel free to share it down below. I will have a new video coming out shortly, and also remember that collab will be coming out soon. So I have a lot of really fun, exciting stuff planned for this month, and I will see you guys in my next video. All right, bye!